England will be playing 4-4-2.
GM, and welcome back to the channel. In this one, we're talking about fan tokens, specifically more in detail on the footy fan tokens, that is soccer for the Americans out there, because I think this is quite an interesting sector of crypto to actually poke your nose into. And it also is showing us that everything will be tokenized. As you'll see, we're tokenizing football. We're also tokenizing other sports as well within the list here. And everything is just having its own digital presence at some point. So very interesting stuff. This is all quite new. So hopefully a decent little intro here and a few trade ideas that I'm actually going to commit to just to see if they work out. One of them coming up rather shortly. If you enjoyed this one, make sure you subscribe to the channel and get your footy jerseys on ready, and let's jump in. So here are the top fan coins on CoinGecko. As you can see, the number one is their FC Barcelona. Market cap is $23 million, FDV 97 mil. A lot of these have long vesting periods. For example, the Man City token started in 2021 and actually vests for 8 whole years until it reaches the full 20 million tokens in totality. And so it's interesting to look at the deeper tokenomics behind some of these. They're not all listed on the same sites as well. So a lot of these are on Socios, the app. Don't know if you've used Socios before. It is the home of a lot of fan tokens. They do quizzes, a lot of interactive stuff where you need the fan token to vote on certain things. Some teams have even allowed the fans to vote on starting 11 lineups, which is pretty crazy. But essentially the fan token is your access key to behind the scenes extras, maybe some NFTs, merch, discounts, that kind of thing. And they do giveaways of tickets and player meet and greets, just to name a few of the various perks that come along with being a fan token holder. Now, I find it interesting there's UFC on here as well. And an idea around this one is when the McGregor fight comes towards maybe the end of this year when it's announced, I think the UFC fan token might be a buy at that point, because the McGregor fight will be the biggest fight in the sport's history, I do believe, when he comes back. And the UFC fan token isn't doing all that well. If we just look at it there, it's pretty much down only, but it is live on the Socios app. I just did a UFC quiz on the app as an example and earned some XP points. So that'll be a trade idea in itself. McGregor fights, UFC fan token to pump, just a 3 mil market cap. I mean, the market caps on these things are kind of just random numbers, let's be honest. I don't think they mean all that much, but these things do move when there are either big events, big signings for your club, that kind of stuff. So I did actually go through a load of these tokens because there's so many football fan tokens out there. I wanted to see which ones pump quite a bit and then dump quite a bit and show me that they have a bit of pumpamentals around certain events. So I'm just going to jump into this list here, summer footy coins. So the list I compiled was Man City, Lazio, Santos, which is a Brazilian team, Juventus, and FC Porto of Portugal. Now with cryptocurrencies, generally people are very tribal. Think of the XRP army, maybe the Cardano supporters, very vocal individuals. You take the piss out of them and you get a lot of backlash online. Now what's more tribal than crypto users? Definitely football fans. I mean, in what other sports do you have sets of fans trying to meet up and fight each other, throwing fireworks at one another and just acting disgracefully given the opportunity because the other guy is wearing a different football top to you? So very tribal indeed, very instinctive. And so as a result, I think there's some quite good trades to be had with these. Now, think about it, football is currently in the off season. So I will jump into some of the charts and show the kind of trade setup I'm thinking about here. But if we just go into the Lazio fan token, this one's actually a Binance-based token. So not on the Socios app. The Socios app is the most popular fan token app, but Binance have also launched a load of fan tokens as well. They say for the Lazio fan token, you'll enjoy exclusive voting rights on club decisions. You can meet the players and even get Stadio Olimpico tours. That is their home venue. They even had limited edition NFTs and discounts, as well as special access to world-class events. So Lazio was a keen pick for me due to the fact the chart is very pumpy indeed. Now, Italian fans are probably some of the most notoriously crazy fans on the planet. Let's just pull the chart up here so you can see what I mean. So think about the football season. Typically ends around May, maybe runs into June in some occasions if you're in a cup final. And then it starts up again pre-season around July, and the first matches of the season are around the late August period, maybe the last couple of weeks of August, and things have really kicked off by September. And on top of this, we also have the European transfer window that ends on the 31st of August each summer. So that for many fans is kind of the catalyst of the new season beginning. When the transfer window is done, teams are set and everyone's good to go. So a lot of these fan tokens have not been around for that much time, but as we can see in the previous season season here. So this is 2022. After the season ends, somewhere back here for Lazio, the price is like $4. Then around May, it drops to $1.07. That is due to a market crash more widely. But you can see the price isn't doing all that well. It's low $2 going into the summer, pre-season, that kind of stuff here. And then the fans are getting a bit more excited as the start of the season is coming into play and the transfer window ends. And so at the end of August, it's actually trading from $2 now up to $7.93. Then the chart for this year, 2023, coming into the end of the Italian season. Lazio finish off their season somewhere around here and the coin proceeds to dump. There's probably no reasons to be holding the coins. They're not looking to do additional marketing for fan engagements and that kind of stuff. Everyone's on the wind down at the end of May, start of June. So we have a bit of a bottoming process taking place here, and it's slowly but surely starting to creep up very slowly here into July. You can see over on Binance, Lazio token bottomed here, which is $1.60 on the 10th of June. Now trading at $2.03. If we just have a look at the 1 penny interval there, you can actually ape in with decent size here. 100 grand's worth of tokens available to bid this up to $2.12. So that's the kind of interesting thing with the Binance listing of these tokens. They do have genuine depth, and we have defined seasonality for football as well. Now, the other coin I want to talk about is Man City's fan token, and the ticker is CITY for City. As I mentioned, I did look into the tokenomics for this one. It has a slow vest. 2.5 million tokens per year do come online. If we pull this one out to max, and I just pull this up. This launched in 2021, comes straight out the gates, does very well. Man City have been very good with their Web3 and also their kind of digital marketing. They were one of the first clubs to do like behind the scene dressing room cameras, a lot of extra things that fans could pay for to receive. And you look at this into June of 2021, price drops down quite substantially, end of season, $11. And then going into this end of the August transfer window, things really start to pump up here to around $27. Let's go into the next year here. In 2022, Man City did win the league, but they did not win the FA Cup. So their season actually ended in terms of being able to actually achieve things somewhat around the end of April. They'd already won the league. Token goes from $15 down into the end of the season. Pre-season there, nothing really happening. $4-5, and it starts to come up again towards that August transfer window, somewhere in the region of $6. So not a huge move, $4 to around $6. Nothing to really get out of bed for there. But let's have a little look at the most recent happenings here, as they did come back and win the league more recently, famously overtaking Arsenal. I do support Arsenal as well, which is quite annoying. But they came back, they stole the title, and then they won the Champions League here on the 10th of June. As you can see from the Socios tweet here, 1 hour until the UEFA Champions League final kicks off on the 10th of June, Man City or Inter, and we know the result, Man City won. And this person typed, Chili's is a scam, City dumping for what reason? It should be the other way round, due to the fact they actually won the title. But from the chart here, you can see that was very much a sell the news event. There was nothing to look forward to. You've just accomplished the big title win. There's nothing more to come from City at that point. So on the 10th, it proceeds to dump from $5.30, and by the next day, it's down to $3 and around 60 odd cents. So very interesting just to observe that yet again. Bottom at the moment is around $2.59. 28th of June is the timestamp on that one. Man City have a pretty decent fan token page here. They're actually very engaging with the fans, doing things like lineup picks. They've got a load of specials like the ability to win seats in boxes. So that would be the most prestigious seats in the stadium. They got links on here to download the app for Socios as well. You can vote via Socios on moment of the season, the best photograph of the season, all these different things. They're trying to engage their community. And so this does quite interest me for this coming season and over the next month or so as we go into the kind of start of the new season, the August transfer window closing on the 31st as well. So my kind of thoughts behind this are that we're seeing these very tribal communities in football being exposed to tokenization of their clubs. And as the new season starts, obviously the marketing teams of the clubs in collaboration with Socios or maybe Binance, as we saw at Lazio, they're going to be ramping things up into the start of the season. They want to get all the fans very hyped. So the simple thesis is football fans are very tribal. We have a period where everything goes radio silence. You then have pre-season. Not that many people are too interested in it, but then coming into the end of August, you have the end of a transfer window. You have all the big deals taking place. There's a lot of excitement around that. Many parallels to a big event in the crypto industry as an example. And then the start of a season, you get all the fans coming back and engaging with one another yet again. So you could have this kind of boost in social engagements and activities around the start of the season, and then the fan tokens can do well off of the back of that. So the plan of action here is to actually buy some of the City token and the Lazio token over the remainder of this month. So in towards the end of July here, I'm going to accumulate some tokens and then look to sell them towards the last couple of weeks of August. And we're going to see if this trend does continue and whether we're onto something here with these fan tokens. So hold tight, we shall see how this goes. I'm very much keen to do this little experiment here, and we'll see if there's gains to be made. I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions on this more broadly. Do you think the thesis is kind of correct or not? And have you invested in any fan tokens yourself more broadly? I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.